Magic 8-Ball app. In this video I'm going to discuss how to create the Magic 8-Ball app for App Inventor. Here is the web screen that talks through creating this application. One of the first things you're going to want to do after creating a new application is download one of the sounds and one of the images for use in your application. Next, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to the MIT App Inventor, and I'm going to close the project I had here and start a new project, which will be the Magic 8-Ball. And I'll drag over a button into our screen. Now on this, we're going to want to show the Magic 8-Ball button, so I'm going to upload the image file that I've previously downloaded on my desktop. It's the 8-Ball image, and upload that. Now once again, I'm going to take the text off of here because I don't want that to show up. And the width of this is a little too wide for the screen. So I'm going to change that, the width of this button, so that the width fills the parent. So this should scrunch it down a little bit. The height is a little bit off. I'm not too worried about this. So let me go to the button here. And I'm going to give the button a better name so it makes sense to me. And I'm going to call this the Magic 8-Ball button. Okay. Now we want something to happen when we press the Magic 8-Ball button. So let's go back over here and let's go down the screen. We want it to play a sound, so we're going to need to add a sound component. And you can get a sound component from the media drawer. So I'm going to grab the sound and I'm going to drag it over here and I'm going to drop it. And you'll notice that the sound component goes below the screen because this component is not visible to the user. Now over here on the sound component, once again I have to upload a file. I'd previously downloaded this, and I downloaded the ta-da sound. So I'll upload that. So that's the sound source for that. Okay, so let's go back to the next piece here. So now that we've got the components we need on the designer side of the fence, let's go to the block side. So we want some things to happen when we create the block. So the first thing we want to have something happen is when we press the Magic 8-Ball button. So I'll set that. We'll grab the click command. And let's think, what would we want to have happen when we click the button? Well, it shows here maybe the first thing we want to do is play a sound. So I can go to the sound component, pull that over into play. So we'll play a sound. The next thing you're going to want to do is get a prediction. But let's go ahead first and test this. I've brought up the emulator now, and if I click on the button, I should hear the sound. I did hear it. You may not have heard it on the video, unfortunately. So let's go back over to the blocks editor. And let's see what the next step is. So it says click up button, get a prediction, and hear a sound. So the next piece here that we want to do is we want to be able to display a prediction. So it's asking us to put this thing called a vertical arrangement into the drawing area so that we can add a couple of items here. We're adding labels that we're going to update with some text information later. So let's come back over here to the designer. I'm going to go to the layout and add a vertical arrangement underneath the magic 8-ball. At this point, I think I'm going to make the size of this magic 8-ball a little bit smaller because it's too high. So let's just say I want to make it 400 pixels. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, that's way too big. So I'll change it to 300 pixels. Okay, that looks okay. So here I want to place 2 labels within this vertical arrangement. So I'll choose label, and then I'll choose label and place them within here. So now they're stacked one on top of each other. And I need to give them some names. So it starts off with ask the magic 8-ball a question. So let me change that. And touch the magic 8-ball to receive your answer. Alright, so now we have it set up so that we have a environment where if we touch the button, which is the image of the magic 8-ball, we'll be able to have it respond with a question. So what we're going to do here is we're going to change some, we're going to be setting this up so that we're going to change the text color of excuse me, I meant to say change the text of label 2 to a prediction. And these predictions are going to be built up through the use of a list and then choosing a random item from the list. Now these are items that are a part of the built-in blocks within App Inventor. You can see here we're setting a label. It's text to pick a random item from the list. This is a drop-in command. And if I move currently down the list, you'll see that I can add another drop-in item called make a list. And in this, it allows me to place many items. There's actually a very nice video on this that describes how to add additional items to the make a list command. It initially only starts off with 2. So I'm going to go back over to App Inventor, go to the block side of the fence, and then I'm going to add some capabilities in here. So label 2, I'm going to set its background, excuse me once again, its text to, first off, we're going to have to choose a random item. This is the key to the magic 8-ball. We need to have a random response. Then we're going to make a list. And this list is going to consist of a series of items. In this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to have 8 list items, so I'm going to need to add a total of 8 list items here. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So now I should have 8 list items here. I then need to create some text document, or some text components so that I can type in what the responses are going to be. And I'm just going to duplicate these and make it faster for myself. And then we need to type in the answers. So it Now that I have all of the list items typed in, I can check on our emulator and see if it works correctly. So at this point, I should be able to press the button. The sound played, and I received an answer. Let me click it again. And you'll notice now that the response is different than the response before. This is showing the random nature of this particular component. Okay, that's it. That creates the entire Magic 8 Ball app. This has demonstrated how to choose random items from a list of items.